Sadly, sexual violence is something that many people experience during times of armed conflict. It's a reality during war, and it is totally unacceptable. At the recent International Red Cross and Red Crescent Conference, the ICRC developed with all states a resolution that very clearly requires those who have power to make sure that this unacceptable activity no longer occurs. It'll be very important for the ICRC to use the resolution in a very practical way in the field. It's really important that we train arms bearers, those who are in a position of power, that sexual violence is an unacceptable act during times of armed conflict. It's also equally important that we provide assistance, dignified assistance, to those who survive sexual violence and are victims of these crimes. What is really critical though, and very sad during times of armed conflict, is that it's not only women and girls that experience sexual violence. You see particularly in places of detention. You see particularly in environments where people are vulnerable, whether they're being on the move or whether they're in some situation where they're not empowered, that sexual violence can occur. So what is very important about the resolution is it acknowledges that it's women and girls, men and boys that are victims of sexual violence, and that practical things must be done to ensure that this doesn't happen. The resolution deals with healthcare issues. It deals with the requirement to provide victims with the needs that are very clearly desperately needed during times of armed conflict. It provides a reminder of the obligations to prosecute those accused of sexual violence. So it'll be a very useful tool to make sure that we can talk to those who are in a position to make changes, to work towards a world where sexual violence is no longer an inevitable consequence of armed conflict.